Hello and welcome back to another episode of Crown Wars: The Black Prince. Guys, I need to update you. First of all, my name is Syken and you know that this is a blind playthrough, but I need to update you on actually a couple of things that happened. So, I was playing behind the scenes, kind of minding my own business and updating the Forge. And as you can see, we are almost done with so we have all of the weapon upgrades now, and we're almost done with all of the armor. But here's the bombshell, okay? So the moment that I began to research the first cannon, the reinforced firearm, the moment that that finished, I got a new class unlocked, which this is really bad design, mind you. So we got the gunners now. I wanted to show you guys, of course, kind of what's going on. For starters, we do have Jimmy Wins, who has now been cast into the crew, and the gunners only have one weapon, which is kind of the gun, and we do have a legendary gun as well, or a unique gun that we're going to look through in a second. So here's the thing. The gunner can either be so the gunner is a little bit more complex character because based on the heat level of his gun, hot, burning, or glowing, like that's 1, 2, or 3 quote-unquote combo points, all of his skills will have a couple of extra fighters. So just keep that in mind. Some of the skills, his normal shots can increase the heat of the gun, and then some of the skills are quote-unquote heat dumps. So the first on the first level, you can either fire a salvo, and depending on the heat level, you get inspired, or you destroy cover, or you remove armor, or you do a deadly shot as the alternative, which is basically a pretty sizable shot on a single target. Inflicts a random debuff if you're hot, burning, chance to inflict despair and slowed, and if you're glowing, it's poison and blinded, which is huge. So kind of want to get high onto that smoking barrel. Second line is either overheat, which is basically you get a bonus based on the heat of your gun, and the heat level also begins to increase by 1. The other thing is heal, where kind of he uses the heat of the barrel and just puts it on the wound for 10% for self heal, then 10% hit points and valiant, or 20% hit point bonus and healing. I don't know if all of these things are consecutive. Then we do have the passives on level 4, either resilient whenever you're having a smoking barrel, so kind of an extra armor point, or skills that use the smoking barrel, grant 10% bonus of power, and power is kind of overall damage, so that's a flat up damage buff. Then the next part is gunpowder powder, which is essentially an explosion AoE around him, which I found interesting. And then No Man's Land, which is more of a fiery spot where people can theoretically move through. Then we do have, again, 2 passives. One is Smoke Screen, where you automatically blind all nearby units. Kind of goes nicely together with the gunpowder, and then there is Smoke Screen. Or Contagious Ardor, using the Smoking Barrel Gouge, grants Valiant. So you're basically doing a big fat shot, and then the entire backline gets Valiant, which, if we look at our buff, is 20% bonus to willpower, so less effective. And then the ultimate is either Devil's Maw, which is what I think around him. Burst of Flame erupts, creating a cone of flames. Then that cone also creates a fiery surface, so this and this together seems a bit like a massive AoE damage, or Abject Terror, which is a little bit like the Crow Storm variant AoE effect that deals piercing damage and adds random debuffs, so it's super strong. So for obvious reasons, we don't have a max level character yet. We have trained these guys, and so far I went 2 times into kind of more the skirmisher route, and 1 time, so these are the skirmishers, and we got 1 more on the black powder route just to test out what I like, which then brings us to the teams overall. So all of the main teams are level 7 since a long time, and I dabbled a little bit with the secondary teams, also spent some money in leveling them, but yeah, I wanted to keep a little bit of the suspense, so I didn't level them to level 7 yet. So let's look at, basically, I think this is the easiest way of looking at it, at descending levels. So if we look at the yellow team, it is currently the one that has the highest level of the 3. I've been using them the most. They seem to be very, very reliable. The idea of that yellow team was damage overload. So we have all of the big melee weapons that are dealing a lot of damage. So in particular, we do have the halberd on the duelist. We are running dual crusader. So we got the sword here and we got the hammer here, which I would keep as is. We got a couple of nice little shots from the backline with the flayer. Another frontliner with the axe, highest and strongest single DPS, and we got the poisoner. But all of that, the backline is more or less for the frontline. Those 4 are the core of the team. Now I'm wondering, just thinking out loud, if I want to trade out the Beastmaster and basically trade in a gunner for that. Yeah, basically offering the same but from the back line. I'm not 100% sure I actually like the team comp and how it plays at the moment. And then we do have 2 other team comps, one of which I want to show you today, but it's a bit of a long intro. So today's team is going to be the red team. We're going to see another attempt on this. Red team is the team that wanted to have like a solid front line, deliberately not taking a lot of high damage weapons. So we're having the duelist with 2 one-hand and weapon kind of setups, and we're having red 3, who's the leader of this with Morning Star. So we're building this team around this unique weapon, right? So we're essentially having that as a front line plus the bear, and that's a really, really good front line. We're having a couple of backline options. We're having a player that can root. The Morning Star itself, the shield can stun, the Morning Star can stun. So those are 2 stun options right there. Then we do have the bear itself, whom we can put into the way. We do have taunt here, taunt here, and taunt here. So those 3 are basically keeping the front line, and we're trying to get into a choke point where we can make sure that the enemy can only attack the front line. And then we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 backline fighters. We do have a dedicated poisoneer with red 1, 2 times poison and an extra poison flask, and then from the skills also another poison skill. We do have the upgraded arrowheads. These 2 here are AoE, so that's another option. And Jimmy here, from his talents, thinking about it, maybe I should have used another AoE, and it doesn't matter. Still fits the bill. So we do have very limited DPS, and this is the more team that needs to stand its ground. We're going to see them in a second. And then we got the final squad, which is the gray team. And that wasn't, or that's, I'm still working on how to get this one going. It was built around the idea of daggers, and we have this unique dagger here. Basically leveled him, that dagger to skill level 3. So this dagger poisons on every attack. Not only is Grey 4 using daggers, but the Beastmaster is also using daggers. So those two try to get around the enemy and are trying to deal damage from behind. We do have our Terrace, who is basically tanking for us. The Halberd, I want to try a Halberd tank and see how this is going. We added this guy here with AoE damage and armor removal, so that will work hopefully well together. And we do have quite a bit of status effects. So we have bleeding, burning, and we got poison over here, and those two can attack from behind. And I'm trying to use the Berserker's elixirs a little bit more to see if those can basically be a workaround for the lackluster damage of the daggers. The biggest problem of this team is the daggers are really low on damage, and unless you find a way of dealing with armor, which we really haven't found that far, put a two-hand hammer into this team, and then you have 1-2 armor removals. I think we had armor removal on the bear. Yeah, so then you would have 1-2-3 armor removals. So that is one option that we could try to run in that way. But we're going to see this in the next episode. I wanted to showcase in the next few episodes, I want to kind of wrap up the game in around 50 episodes. So I want to show each team that I've built once, and we're going to start with the first team, our tank team, Team Red first, and the other mission that I've planned would be the normal storyline mission, but that mission we're doing with our main team. Anyways, enough wobbling. Let's get into the fight. Good. We gotta bring our VIP out of here. Bear, as always, is going to be our tank. These guys cannot reach us if we're standing here.
At your service.
Good. The front line is going to be comprised out of tanks. So
I won't fail you.
let's drink this Valiant and Resilient. Valiant is for 2 turns, Resilient only for 1 turn. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that these elixirs would help us to tank even better. Anyway, so that's tank number 1. Tank number 2. Going to move up all the way to here. Always keep the sword and boards. Swords do have that neat little feature of extra reflex. Don't need any of that. We're just going to get into defensive stance. Bear is overwatching so that he hopefully will draw aggro.
Ready when you are.
And now we're getting our backline. The gunner has another really neat property, which is very, very long range.
I'll cover this area.
Massive range, to be precise. Beastmaster moves up.
At your command. I'm ready.
And we got our doctor.
I'll cover this area.
Good.
Yes?
Let's go. This team is not known to be the fastest in killing, so it will be interesting to see how we're going to progress. Because we need to get through these enemies. And this, by the way, a situation where this team is not necessarily shining because that was good. Because we don't have the enemy in a choke point. It's quite the opposite. It is quite the opposite. Good, let's
Ready to go?
think that through. For starters, I believe we want to hit a bit of poison. So this here is going to be our front line, and we're just putting the back line to here. Too far away with poison. This guy over here is a bit dangerous, so we're going to use our duelist to actually do what a duelist does, which is duel him. I know it sounds a bit self-explanatory, but that's what we're going to do. Getting that extra resilience, and he's now going to attack us. We will riposte fight him, so he's taken out of the equation. But that means that the bear and us,
Yes.
we need to
At your
really have
command.
a great front line. That's why this is going to be a bit of an issue. Good. Bear begins to move up. We're accessing their back line. Coordinated attack. Very nice.
Ready when you are.
Good. Thanks to the armor piercing, this guy effectively
Yes.
had almost 0 armor.
Ready when you are.
That's a good spot. That's where we want it to be, and now I can finally put
Deep breath.
this here to work. Bear is a little
At your
bit low,
command.
so gotta be careful.
At your command.
Good, we could stun one person. I am going to take an attack of opportunity. It's fine. You will see in a second why it's still minor damage. 100% chance, unless we're missing, of course. Good. This guy stays on us. We unfortunately have our back to the dog. The dog originally would have been stunned, so that's fine. This night, next turn,
Yes.
we're going to get him. Gunner does have
Yes.
pretty decent armor. What we could be doing is We could force this guy here to stay where he's at, or alternatively, we're just going to try to kill him. Good, we're down at like what? 35 points, he's dead. That dog is at 21. Another victim. Good.
Ready when you are.
Which brings us to the gunner. Slowly but surely the heat is building up. One deadly shot already. Random debuff could be stunned, but oh, this guy counts as if he would have been partial cover. No, thank you. We're just going ahead and we're filling up the heat. Good. We got effectively two unchecked. One unchecked enemy, two taunted enemies. These two are dead, so we actually had a decent turn. Like I said, not the best environment for us. He can cure. Interesting. He can cure taunted. Didn't know that. That is good to know. Okay. Just making sure the bear survives. % accuracy, what's happening? Reflexes. Iron debuffed? No way.
That hit the mark.
Yes.
You can re-toss the bullet. Okay, because it was in melee. I see how it is.
I won't disappoint you.
Good, problem solved. We're healing up. Just a tiny bit.
At your command.
Need to heal here as well, but before we do that, look at that, fantastic. So we're still keeping our heat, and that was poison.
At your service.
Not bad. Followed by bleeding, followed by just overall hit, and we're 14 points. We're 14
No
points
mercy.
in. Move to here. Heals up the tank. Unfortunately, doesn't cure the root. I don't have anything that can cure the root, not at this point in time.
No problem.
Yes.
At your command.
Yes? They won't get through.
Okay, as you can see, fallout damage is a bit lackluster, typically since this guy is a dedicated healer.
At your service.
Good, moving up.
At your command.
Bear moves up. One, two,
Yes.
and we're finishing him.
At your service. On my way.
Move closer to the extraction area. I wonder.
At your service.
At your command.
I'm ready.
Moving up. I'm just going to use
Bless
AoE incense. That gives them the healing buff. Good enough.
Yes.
Alright.
Very well.
Ready to go.
Yes?
Good. Hope the next encounter will be a bit better. Like these open fields, not my favorite forte. We need to go to here. We're definitely going to run into that additional group here. Okay. Bear takes the center position.
Yes.
And we're taking
At your
as many
service.
defensive actions as possible. Position over here. Can't really taunt anyone.
On the move.
Let's try this.
Face me.
Good, didn't work out.
I'm ready.
So what I'm going to do is, we don't want them to like fully run into us. This will make it more difficult.
Yes.
Starting with you, 1, and then deeper
Duck your
penetration
head.
bullet. Resisted
At your
prone,
command.
unfortunately. Good, perfect timing to double bleed him. Resisted poisoning, but gets double bled. And rooted.
At your command.
Good, we're moving behind the line
At your
again.
command. Very well.
Okay, let them come. Bit of a different tactic. I've done it a couple of times in my off-screen runs. It's not the quick charge in and get everybody killed kind of style. Yep, the front line does have more than 80% evasion here.
Damnation.
Of course, not the archers right after. Okay. You guys eat a bit of poison. And whilst we're at
Perfect
it,
strike.
how about this? Perfect.
My blade is yours.
Yes. Getting into position.
Moves up. Nice hit. And this here could inflict poison and blind it. Oh, that's actually really good. Let's go. Good, we're going to do what I meant to do beforehand, which is
Yes.
to come in over here, get this guy. He's taunted, I like it. And here we're missing just a few points of damage. Alright, 20, that's good enough. He is dead and he is taunted. Plus it's 21
Ready when you are.
Poison to deal with. He's almost dead. This guy hasn't taken any damage. Periodic damage, that is, so far.
I won't disappoint you.
Come on, one hit. All that it takes.
I won't disappoint you. On my way.
Move in. And then we're just charging. That provokes attack of opportunity, but don't care.
Out of my way!
What makes him so sturdy?
Yes.
At your command.
What makes him
The
so
hunt
sturdy?
is on.
Alright, well that's a good start. Like it. This guy's dead, this guy's dead. He is not dead yet. But he is heavily poisoned, so this is a crit into a kill.
At your command.
We're just healing ourselves. Good. Which one of our skills? Slowed, weakened, yes. But beforehand,
Out of my way!
let's taunt him. And now he's rooted. Lovely.
The hunt is on.
Soon the next reinforcements will spawn. That's okay. I am not wasting cooldowns because we will need them next turn likely.
At your command. Die!
Very good.
Yes!
Gunner,
Ready to fire!
Yes.
takes him down.
Consider it done. I'll keep watch. Yes.
Double
I'll get in
move.
position.
Let's try to move as close as possible to the exit
At your service.
so that we technically do have the chance to just leave. Not sure if this is far enough, but we're going to find out, I suppose. Good, none of these can be captured. Alright. Haste. And we can leave.
Yes!
Yes, yes, everybody can.
Yes!
Fantastic.
Yes. On the move.
Alright. For
Stand
good
back.
measure, eat this here. Good. Very
Yes.
good.
Very well.
My blade is yours. Ready when you are.
Almost start to like the poison arrow more than the flaming arrow. That was a good hit.
Yes! Very well.
2, 4, 6. We're good. We can leave. Let's So yeah, that was the tank squad. I wish I could have MS armor. Do not need that. We have it already. I wish I could have shown you more of a in town fight with them, because they are dealing very. I had one fight, unfortunately I haven't recorded it, where basically the enemy, I had this very small passage between two houses, and the enemy was pushing in. These two were holding the front line. The bear also was there, kind of in and out, because I needed to heal him from time to time. But particularly Red 4 as a duelist was handing out a butt smacking left and right with her 80% dodge chance. And then Red 3, super high defense. After a taunt, 7 armor, after getting hit with resilient, 8 armor. So he was taking like 2 damage per hit. Unfortunately, you can't really prevent the crits that are coming in from time to time. It is just what it is. But yeah, that was a really nice fight, and in hindsight, I should have recorded it. Basically, pulled 2 packs, and it still worked out very well. So, in terms of just dealing with all of that, I like bleeding, so that's good. But the status effects fit more into the theme of crowd control. So I like that. Here we can either start spread far apart and then we're getting accurate, or we're staying a little bit closer and then we get resilient. The bear is a bit too weak, so resilient is the way to go. I should have maybe taken Bastion specifically, since I already have a charge, so the heavy charge here is slightly wasted. Bastion would have been so much more thematically appropriate, so I'll do the right thing here and basically help to get us elusive, which will allow at least one target to reposition. So that makes sense. We do have this here, distinguished duelist, for an extra taunt. I think that kind of goes without saying. I like the haste elusive part as well, but since we have it on Red 3, it's going to be good, and we need more armor penetration, so that card is pretty standard. And in terms of upgrades, I think the only thing that we're researching is the flawless gunner armor at this point. Most of our money goes into buying consumables, because I wanted to test out all of the consumables. And as you can see, we have nicely researched all of them. I know there is still one legendary weapon out there, but I haven't had the chance to get it. So that's a bit of a bummer. Good. The assassination will happen the next time in our next episode. Thanks a lot, and see you all in the next episode. Bye bye, guys.